Everyone, we are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. What are the treasures of innerness? What are the treasures of innerness? Earnestness, sincerity, authenticity. These are indeed the foundations of your inner world, innerness. Earnestness, sincerity, and authenticity. Are these different from one another? In the world of outside, these appear to be different from one another. And in reality, these are not different things, instead, different aspects of the same phenomena. Instead, different aspects of the same phenomena. One has to be utterly true to himself. One has to be utterly true to oneself. You need not hide. The courageous person remains as he is. He need not pretend, he need not do anything. Courageous person remains as he is, absolutely naked. He is ready to accept whatsoever the consequences may be. He is ready to accept whatsoever be the consequences, but he is not ready to compromise the truth in any way. What he has experienced, truth, he is not going to compromise with that. This is the only way you can become an individual. This is the only way that you can have integrity. This is the only way that you can be earnest. You can be sincere. You can be authentic. The world teaches people, the outer world, your so-called world of the schools, colleges, religion, and society, teaches you to be fake, compromising. The world makes people deceptive and false. This is what your so-called morality is. Character, respectability. This is nothing but an effort to disguise so you can hide your reality. You go on showing the false face to the world. Whatsoever is expected from you, you can show it to the world. But a man who hides his reality and shows his falseness to the outer world becomes schizophrenic, divided, split within. He becomes two. In fact, he becomes many-faced, because in each situation he has to use a different face. This is what we know in the world. You cannot use the same face to your wife or husband and to the girlfriend or boyfriend. You cannot show the same face to the boss and use the same face to your subordinate, to your maid, to your servant. You have to carry many faces so that you can wear mask according to this circumstance and situation. This is how we are trained to live in the world. Slowly and slowly, one day, it becomes an automatic phenomenon. You have to show a different face to your boss because you are dependent on many things from him. You cannot be authentic to your boss. If you do not like anything in him, you cannot say it straightforward, because saying that means you are going to lose your job, because we are not ready to listen to our own criticisms. It happened a few weeks ago. We decided to buy a fish aquarium to put it in the restaurant place. So there was a space by the window where sunlight was coming profusely, and what we noticed, the water was turning green. So I keep on complaining to the person who had set up the aquarium that do something, the water is turning green. He did not find a solution. Instead, he said, "This man is a little old, miserable man." This is his opinion. He is not finding the solution. Why does the water in the aquarium turns green? We looked into internet. It says that it turns green because of algae into it. So it said that you sterilize the aquarium and make it. We did it 1 or 2 days, the water remained clear, and we did not find the solution yet. And the man said that this old man is miserable. To hide he is the one who is supposed to be expert in that. So we looked into, then one day a person came in and he looked at it. He said that your aquarium has too much sunlight, and whenever there is too much light, algae grows naturally. That is why when you see the ponds and lakes, ponds specifically where the water is not flowing and sunlight falls, water turns green. So I asked him, what is the solution? He told me to go to the shop and find the solution from there. So we went. Then we looked into more intensely. We realized that there it is the sunlight that causes the water to turn, algae to grow, and with that the water in the aquarium turns green. We cleaned it and removed it from the light. So there is no direct light coming in except the light from the bulbs, which is not much. Sunlight is more, and that helps the algae to grow. Since we put up, that problem was solved. Now the point is, if there was lack of awareness, I would have gone to that person and tell him how he is saying, how are you saying that I am a miserable person? And he did not tell me, he told some of the workers, and they told me that. So I said that is his opinion, and I am not bothered about the opinions of the others. I had asked him to set up the aquarium, paid him the money that he asked for. He's supposed to get it corrected. So whenever a situation is like this, if you have an opinion about you, there is authenticity, there is earnestness, you will not be bothered about what others have the opinion about you or what others say about you. If you are carrying a false face, a mask, then you will be bothered about it. So his comment did not bother me at all, because I have given a job offer to somebody to set up the aquarium. And the price that he asked for, we agreed. He is supposed to provide us the best product. Saying that or complaining about that is not being miserable, because that is my right to it. But this is what actually happens. You cannot show your face, the same face to your boss, because you are dependent on him for your job, recommendations, etc. But you can show a different face to your maid, to your servant, because you are not dependent on him for job. Instead, his livelihood is dependent on you. And slowly, one day it becomes automatic. You need not change your face, but it changes automatically. To be in such a state means to be miserable, mad, and divided in 1001 pieces. Mad, miserable, split. Life will become a chaos then, and a misery and hell. But one can drop the faces and the mask too. And that is what initiation, that is what sannyas, that is what bharat is. You are now entering into an authentic life, to be true, to be your original face. It is said, have you discovered your original face? Zen says, the moment you discover your original face, which is same as Raman says, go within. Where will you find your original face? By going within under all, and how you interact under all circumstances and situations. To be true, to be original face is the beginning of initiation, is beginning of bharat, that you are going to live your life. You have discovered your original face. You have gone within. The two different statements, two different ways of saying the same thing to discover your original face. Original face when you were born, you were innocent, and when Jesus says only one who is childlike can enter the kingdom of my Father. Discovering your innocence is discovering your, another way of saying that find the original face. Go within. Attain to childlike innocence. And then suddenly you start feeling a kind of energy which was never there before. Because you start becoming one, all the split, misery and division is now over. All your fragments start melting into one another, and they create, and when they start melting into one another, they create a center. They create integrity. To discover the center is to discover integrity. They create individuality, and they create a musical symphony. You are authentic. The moment you have discovered your original face or your innocence, you are sincere. You are authentic. You become a musical symphony. Then and only then you can be earnest, sincere, and authentic. These are the foundations or the pillars of innerness. Without earnestness, without sincerity, and without being authentic to yourself, you cannot enter the kingdom of my Father, as Jesus says. Initiation or bath is not a ritual that you are given a new name. It's an altogether new journey. Journey to discover your original face. Journey to be earnest. Journey to be sincere. Journey to be authentic. And this is your real face. This is your original face that is earnest, sincere, and authentic. And this is what religion is all about. Discovering your original face is the essence of religion, not that which is contained in your so-called outer religions. The outer religions, Hinduism, Christianity, and Islam, is a different kind of a journey. But to discover your original face is an altogether different kind of a journey. You have to be you have to be within the energy field of one who has attained to this. And that too is not necessary. If you are becoming more and more aware, when you see a flower blossoming, when you see a tree that carries the essence of the entire existence, it is in harmony with the existence. Breeze blows, its leaves swing with the wind, swing with the breeze. There is no resistance. The way breeze takes the leaves, its branches, it moves. One is earnest only then, sincere and authentic. And this is your real face, or you can say that discovered the original face. And this is in reality what religion is all about. It has nothing to do, religion has nothing to do with God, heaven or hell, and all kind of theories and philosophies that have been woven around religion. Religion is built around your innerness. The moment, unless you discover your original face, you are not religious. You may be Hindu, you may be Christian, you may be Muslim. Being this is not being religious. The moment you have discovered your original face, you are religious. Jesus is religious. But Jesus is not Christian. The word Christianity did not exist then. Muhammad is not Muslim because the word Muslim did not exist then. This word was invented long after, from Mohammedan to Muslim. Because Jesus attained to Christhood. So from Christhood, one who is following the Christ became Christian. From Hindu, the Hinduism came as a religion. The basic concern of religion is to discover truth, discover your original face, discover your authenticity, discover your sincerity. And one has to be it, discover it, has to be it, and then live it. Only then one can know it. There is no other way. And this is not a belief. It has to be your own experience. There is one of the compositions of Umar Khayyam which is translated into Urdu language. क्या हो हासिल उनके जिक्र से जो पीकर मस्त हुए. What shall you gain, O fool, by talking about those who are drunk, who are intoxicated, who have discovered their original face? Yes, listening to their stories, listening to the way they attend to it, it can bring courage in you. It will give you tremendous courage. When Buddha can attain to this, and Buddha has the same ingredients that I have, so I can also attain to that. This can only give you assurance. It can give you courage. It is not a belief system. It has to be your own experience. You have to experience it in the innermost core, your original face. You have to experience it in your innermost core of the being, and that alone brings freedom. That alone liberates you. That brings freedom, bliss, and benediction to you. That brings freedom, bliss, and benediction to you. Only then you know what earnestness is, what sincerity is, what authenticity is. You know the word, which is a container. But there is a vast difference between container and the content. What is the content of innerness? What is the content, qualities of sincerity? How does a sincere person operate? How does a person operate who is authentic? A woman comes to Hazrat Imam Zafar Sadiq. She says, I have been to this group, this master and that, and each time I entered another fold, I was considered as wise. And I felt happy. But now that I know you are the most learned person, I have come to you. What do you say? Hazrat Imam Zafar Sadiq told the woman, go home and I will send you my reply in a few days' time. He did not need a horde of disciples. Chachaji used to say that I do not want the worldly dogs around me. They only know how to bark. I want lions who are courageous, who are ready to take the risk, who are ready to enter the uncharted area, who is ready to go on an inner hike fearlessly, with authenticity, all alone. Then you know what is the meaning of sincerity, what is the meaning of authenticity and earnestness. Without these, freedom cannot happen, benediction will not happen to you. So until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day. We are coming to you live via Facebook.